Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about making and selling candles. And today's video is going to be just kind of a chit-chat style video. I'm just doing a voiceover while you are watching me package up my new candle making kits. And I thought it would be interesting and something that I have just been wanting to talk about for so long. Just to, I don't know if it's just like a selfish thing, like I just need to get it off my mind of everything that's happened over the past 16 months that I kind of kept secret this whole time because I wasn't sure if I was actually able to get these candle making kits out or not. So I really just kind of wanted to dive into 16 months ago up until now and a few things that happened that were kind of obstacles along the way, and just kind of tell you what happened with the candle making kit. So basically, I originally had the idea back in September of 2020, and I don't know what made me think of it, but there was something in my head that said, I know that I can create a really good candle making kit, and I wish that I was a candle supplier so that I was able to do that. But instead of either one, not doing it because I'm not a candle supplier, or two, becoming a candle supplier just so I would be able to do that, which would be just, oh my goodness gracious, I can't even imagine. I don't have any plans for that anytime soon. I definitely am okay with just being a candle business. So this was kind of my workaround with that. So what I decided to do was just reach out to two of my favorite suppliers, which is Candle Science and 1617, to see if they would be on board with me having their products in my kit, because obviously I would not want to just resell their products as my own. That is not good to do at all. And I wanted to be able to give exposure to some of my favorite brands to potential customers that are just getting into candle making, and they can get started and kind of be introduced to these different brands, which I thought was a different take on candle making kits, because typically when you get a candle making kit, it's all from one brand. So I figured that this would kind of give a variety of different products within this one box. And I do have a list of suppliers of where you can get the supplies that's in the box. There's a couple different ones other than 1617 and Candle Science, but those are definitely the main ones. But besides that, I really just was thinking that this could be a way that could benefit everybody involved, and the customer would be able to try out a couple different products from different brands and be able to have everything in the kit to make a candle from start to finish. And I was a little bit nervous in the beginning of creating something that and I have gotten this feedback, and trust me, you guys, I was definitely very much aware of this happening, and there's no getting around it. It doesn't matter what you do, what price you put it out as. People are either not going to like it, or they're going to love it. They're going to say it's too expensive or that it's a great deal. It's just depending on the person. And I knew that was going to happen from the beginning, but I still really wanted to hold true to using really high quality ingredients. And I do think that as a person, as a consumer myself, and talking with multiple people, different friends, family, I asked so many people, if you were to make candles, would you rather make more candles but have it be in like a tin, like a metal tin, or would you rather have two bigger, like really nice, beautiful candles? And it was overwhelmingly that people chose that they'd rather have less candles, make less candles, but have them be higher quality and prettier candles, essentially. And that's not docking anybody that has candle making kits that's using metal tins. It was just more of a personal choice and trying to give something different out there that I hadn't seen before. So moving along into the start of September 2020. And once I got the idea of being able to partner with these different companies, I did have to reach out to them, talk to them about my idea, and be able to move forward from there. And once I got both of them on board, it was kind of the green light to get started. And me being me, I focused a lot on the design of everything. I just hopped into the things that were really fun and trying to figure out how I wanted the box to look and how I wanted the labels to look and how I wanted to do everything. And I would have a list going on my phone of just different ideas that I had. And the real technical stuff that I wasn't thinking about had to do with things like I need to make sure that I'm choosing a jar that is going to work with 1 ounce of fragrance oil. So if you're a candle maker watching this, you know that there is a ratio between the wax and the fragrance oil, and that is what the fragrance load is, the fragrance percent is. And I knew that I didn't want to have the customer to have a scale at home and measure out the correct amount of fragrance oil and then pour that into the candle. I just wanted it to be 1 bottle, 1 ounce of fragrance oil per candle, and have it be very, very simple and easy to follow. I didn't want there to have to be any measuring or any issues like that. So finding and figuring out a measurement and a jar that was able to work well with 1 ounce of fragrance oil was a little bit of a challenge in the very beginning. Another thing that was a big challenge was the size of the box. This, oh my goodness gracious, the box that it came in, this little, the marbled box right here, I went back and forth on what I wanted to do with this box. Originally, I was just going to do a regular cardboard shipping box and have that be the box that it arrived at your house in. So the marbled on the outside, you open it up, and then you have all of the supplies inside. And my fiance now, if you didn't know, I am recently engaged. A lot of you pointed that out on one of my more recent videos. But my fiance pointed out that why would I spend all this money on a box and then just have it be ruined during transit? So that's why I decided to go with a box like this that is reusable. It has kind of that like magnetic front right there to where it closes. It's all magnetic. And I love that idea so much more. And then I just put that box inside of a regular shipping box. And yes, it technically did raise the price a little bit on it. But again, my instinct, my first thought with this box was I wanted it to be an experience, and I wanted to try to make it as eco-friendly as possible, as reusable as possible. I have the bags in there that can be reused. The box is reusable, so once you're done making candles, you can use it for other things, to store different things. And I just like that idea so much better. But I needed to figure out a perfect size that fit all of the supplies, that wouldn't have the supplies rolling around or wouldn't be too small that I couldn't fit everything in there. So that was definitely something else that was a little bit of an obstacle, and trying to figure out what size was going to work well for the supplies to fit in there, but also be small enough to fit inside of a shipping box that was going to be small enough to where it wasn't going to cost, you know, tons and tons of money to ship out. I mean, it costs probably around $10 to $20 depending on where the customer lives in the US. Obviously international would be a lot more, but it's about 6.5 pounds ish. So it does cost, you know, quite a little bit to ship it. So I was trying to figure out every way that I could to make it as small as possible. And then also being on Alibaba and going back and forth with different suppliers, I talked to maybe over a dozen suppliers because there was an issue with the height of the box. Not every supplier could do the height that I needed, and that was an issue. So having to go through multiple different suppliers, I got a couple different samples in the mail just to see how the boxes were, and then actual production of it, and then the shipping and arrival of the boxes, from start to finish, from first contacting the first supplier up until I received the finished boxes, was 6 months. So it was February to August. So that was something that I was not entirely prepared for. But again, this was an entire learning process. And I will say the biggest thing that I learned from all of this, and something that was absolutely a detriment to me, but again, I learned a lot from it, was I actually was expecting that I was able to get these kits out in May or June of 2021. That was my goal. So the beginning of 2021 in January, that's when I was really like, okay, I can get these boxes out, we can get it together and get them going. And I decided to, at that time, January 2021, to purchase all of my fragrance oils from Candle Science. And that was a mistake because obviously it took until January of 2022 to get them out. And me in my head and in my heart, I can't sell year-old fragrance oils in my kit. I can't do that. So, I mean, I just kind of ate the cost on that. And again, I learned a lesson. I had to order new fragrance oils so that I'd have new fragrance oils to sell in my kits. And technically, you could say that the fragrance oils are still fine. And I did try them out and I could just see the discoloration. If you know the discoloration on fragrance oils, you know what I'm talking about. And I just didn't feel comfortable having that in my kit as a brand new kit with all these new supplies and then have year plus old fragrance oils. I couldn't do it. So I had to get all new fragrance oils. Something else that I didn't really look into until closer to the end was how to pack my wax, how to actually package the wax in these boxes. Because if you know, wax either comes in the like the flake form, pellet form, or slab form. And soy 10 comes in slab form. And I didn't want to just kind of chop off different pieces and kind of mesh it all together. So I ordered a couple dozen soap molds, these silicone soap molds from Amazon. And I just spent tons of time just pouring all these soap molds full of soy 10, but they all weigh different. So I had to individually weigh out the wax needed for each of the kits. And in the very beginning, the jars that I had chosen were the colorful Evermore jars from 1617. But by the time August, I think it was August or September, I can't remember when, I think it was August. By the time August came around, they came out with the matte black with the wood lids. And luckily, I had not ordered the jars yet. And right when I saw that they had the matte black Evermore jars with the wood lids, I'm like, this is the jar for my kit. I about exploded with joy. I was so excited. And so I ordered those ones. But what I didn't realize or take into account was that the fill weight that I had. So I originally think I was doing 13 ounces because the Evermore jars did not come with a lid. So originally it was not going to come with a lid, but the matte black jars, you can get the wood lids for the top. I mean, it just goes together. And so I realized that if I were to fill it up how I was going to before at 13 ounces, it was going to not have enough room for the wick and the lid. So I had to take everything down to be a 12-ounce candle so that you would be able to actually close the lid on top of the candle. So then Chris and I had to unwrap all of the wax, reweigh it to be 11 ounces instead of 12 ounces. So we had to go through and do that, which took a lot of time. And I have to be honest that there are so many things that I could have done better, but the amount of learning, everything that I learned within this, just, I mean, it's crazy that I learned so much. And that's why I'm so comfortable with purchasing supplies on Alibaba, because I purchased so many things for the kit on there. And I just, know what to look for, know what to ask them. Talking about pricing doesn't scare me. There's so many things that I'm so used to now that helps me just with my candle business in general. But being able to expand like this kind of gives me a foot in the door of seeing what it would be like to be a candle supplier without going all in with that, because again, I don't think it's something that I necessarily want to do. Maybe in the future, but nothing right now. I definitely like where I'm at right now. So I think that I'm going to end this video right here. I feel like I could talk so much more because there were so many anxieties and so many things going on in my head about this kit, but I'm super proud. I honestly, it's been so long. I can't believe it's actually on my website and available. It's crazy. So for those of you that want to purchase it and, give it as a gift or try it out yourself at home, I highly, highly appreciate that. And thank you so much. And even if you can't afford it, or if it's not something you're interested in, but you still watch my videos and you're still here to support, I love you guys too as well. Don't think that I'm like just banking on everybody to purchase them right away. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop rambling here because I think I don't have enough footage to keep talking. But with that, I'm going to end today's video right here. If you all enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe for the subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.